Hello everybody and welcome back to Cloudbase Scents, a fresher take on fragrances. I'm your host Joey and thank you so much for taking time out of your day to watch another one of my fragrance reviews. Before I go any further, I want to say a special thank you to everybody in the fragrance community who has said such kind and wonderful things about my other two videos. I know this is a new channel and we're just getting started, but I have a feeling that we're on to great things and that we're going to look back on these videos and be like, wow, those were the first videos on the channel. And I'm so happy to have you all along for the ride and I hope we can go places together. So here's to that. Today I'm going to be reviewing a fragrance from a house that you may not have heard of before, and the house is called Afnan. And this fragrance was launched in 2018. The house was founded in 2012. And the name of the fragrance is called Supremacy in Heaven. Supremacy in Heaven is a fragrance that when I first saw the review on this, the only review I've ever seen on YouTube other than this one, it was described as Millesime Imperial by Creed. And I have Millesime Imperial and I find that the performance is not that great. So I was intrigued to find out if this fragrance was going to be something I could use as an extension of that fragrance. So I blind bought this thinking that's what it was. And then when I got it in, when I popped the cap, the first thing I smelled was Creed's Silver Mountain Water. So if you've ever smelled Creed's Silver Mountain Water, this may be a redundant purchase if you already own it. But if you don't, this may be a cost-effective solution to that, as it goes for about $30 to $35 on FragranceNet and FragranceX. So let's get right into talking about the fragrance itself, but before we do, this cap, you have to see how well this packaging is made. I don't often talk about packaging just because, like I said before, my opinion about packaging is that you can have a really nice package, but the juice can be kind of crap. And there's no point in buying something because it has a pretty bottle if the juice itself is not worth it. So, but I think that this juice inside of this is worth it. And even though I'm not a fan of Creed Silver Mountain Water, I bought it when it was at a really huge discount. I don't particularly like the inky kind of metallic sour vibe that it gives off, but just because it doesn't work with my skin chemistry, that doesn't really mean anything because it may work with your skin chemistry. It doesn't mean that the fragrance sucks, it just means for me it doesn't work out. But I think for those of you who enjoy that kind of inky metallic note that Silver Mountain Water has, you're definitely going to find something that you like in this one. So let's talk about the note breakdown. So in the opening, you're going to have citrus, bergamot, and mandarin. And what I get from this immediately is the citrus and the mandarin right off the bat. You can definitely pick up the mandarin, but you also pick up the mid notes immediately as well, which are blackcurrant and herbal green tea. And those notes, all the ones that I just said, match up with the notes in Creed Silver Mountain Water. So you will also find blackcurrant and herbal green tea in the mid and Silver Mountain Water as well. And I think that's what the combination of those is what gives off that kind of inky metallic vibe. It is a very musky scent and it will radiate off of your skin very powerfully when you first spray it. This is not something I would classify as a beast mode fragrance, but I would definitely say that it's going to project more than arm's length for at least an hour to 2 hours. And then it's going to kind of sit closer, but I don't think it ever goes all the way back to a skin scent. It still projects off of you and you'll still catch waves of this coming off of you during the daytime. And I think this will last you through an entire workday. So that kind of gives you an idea of the longevity on this fragrance. Again, as I said, priced between $30 to $35. I think that it's definitely a good value. As I said, I don't really rate packaging that much, but you have to see this bottle. I mean, this bottle is really, really nice. And it does look good sitting on a shelf and it does look good in your collection. It definitely stands out. And I haven't had a chance to try the other fragrances from this house yet, but I already have a few of them on order. And when they come in, I'll be reviewing those as well. But like I said, if you don't have Creed Silver Mountain Water, this is definitely a good buy. And I think you'd be really happy with the performance as well. So as I mentioned before, with the Creed fragrance, the thing that's going to stand out differently on that fragrance is going to be the galbanum and the petitgrain. Those two notes don't exist in this fragrance. So if you like galbanum or petitgrain and you want that to be part of the longevity of the fragrance, you're definitely going to want to get Creed Silver Mountain Water. I think the Creed fragrance is a little bit more balanced and subtle, whereas this is very in your face. This kind of like jumps out at you. This is definitely something that is going to get attention from people a lot more than Silver Mountain Water will. And if you like your fragrances a little bit more in your face, I would definitely go with this one, as the Creed is a little bit more subdued. So thank you so much for watching my review today on Afnan Supremacy in Heaven. I appreciate your view today, and thank you so much for coming along on my fragrance journey with me. I really wouldn't even be on this journey if it wasn't for a few people and I'd like to take a mention of them really fast just so that you can be turned on to them as well if you don't already know who they are, but you should if you're in the fragrance community. The first person is George Zaharoff. And George, you know I love you. It's kind of redundant for me to say this, but I wanted to say this on video. Thank you so much for the words of encouragement that you've given me, and thank you so much for being such a supportive friend. Your fragrance signature is probably one of the best fragrances that I've ever smelt before, and I can't wait to review it very soon. So again, check out Zaharoff. I'll leave his link down below. And I also want to say a special thank you to Ashton of Gent Scents, Carlos of Brooklyn Fragrance Lover, and Agnes Eva, who have all been inspirations for me making this channel. I watch your videos daily, and as do a lot of other people, and I know that I don't just speak for myself when I say this, but we're lucky to have you, and thank you so much for being part of the fragrance community and doing what you do. And lastly, I want to say a special thank you to a good friend of mine who has a newer channel, but he has a lot of content and he's put a lot of hard work into his channel, and he's definitely doing great things. You should check him out. It's Benjamin of Centitaur Fragrance. And wow, what a good channel that is, and what a good friend he is. You should get to know him and network in the fragrance community, so get to know Benjamin if you can. So thank you so much, Ben, for being supportive of me, and I'm trying to throw some support back at you. So there you go. All right, that will be it for me. Make sure that you hit like and subscribe and hit the bell so you can follow me on further fragrance journeys. I'm going to be reviewing everything from designer, indie, and niche, mostly niche and indie fragrances here. I have some special things for you on the way that I don't think you've probably ever heard of before. I like to buy kind of obscure fragrances and review the stuff that's not the more traditional designer route. But I think you'll really appreciate some of the future reviews. And if you'd like to know more about me, there's some links down below you can check out. And I will see you next time right here on Cloudbase Scents.